Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Welcome to this edition of Integrative Movement Insider, and I apologize for the light and sound. I wanted to shoot this real quick before Janice and I head off to teach at the SCW Mania, and today we're teaching about corrective exercise strategies for the psoas and glutes, as well as for common knee issues. So that brings us to today's topic, which is part 2 of a 2-part series on the piriformis and external hip rotators, and how they tend to and commonly limit hip internal rotation, which commonly leads to hip issues, especially labral tears and femoral acetabular impingement issues, as well as common knee issues and low back issues. So one of our most important strategies after we assess our clients for hip rotation is to help them release that posterior hip complex. So posterior fibers of glute medius, superficial fibers of glute maximus, as well as those hip external rotators, including piriformis. Once we teach our clients how to release, then we educate them on how to release through their functional movement patterns. We really like the hip hinge because it teaches our clients how to release those posterior hips or posterior hip musculature, as well as how to move that pelvis over top the femoral head to create anterior pelvic rotation, which our clients need for all their squatting, lunging, stepping, bending patterns. The second pattern I'm going to show you is how to move the pelvis in the transverse plane, because all walking or running requires the ability, when the foot is on the ground, to move that pelvis towards the forward leg, to rotate through the transverse plane and essentially create internal hip rotation. So when our clients lose internal hip rotation, they'll tend to shift through through the frontal plane, and that's where you see that kind of pelvis tilt. And what often gets blamed as a weak glute medius is really the lack of the ability of the pelvis moving over top of the femoral head through the transverse plane. So the first pattern we do after we do our release work is to do the hip hinge pattern to teach our clients how to dissociate or move the pelvis over top the femoral head. I'm going to step away from the camera, but essentially I'm going to hip hinge, teach my client to release posterior gripping and to release through the posterior hip complex as a hinge. Second pattern, I'll go in split stance with my left leg forward, so we do both sides and focusing more on the more limited side of internal rotation. And I'm going to teach my client how to move that pelvis through the frontal plane, transverse plane, and rotate that pelvis over top the femoral head. So here's how the patterns look. Hip hinge, align the spine, align the rib cage over top of the pelvis, hands on the pelvis. Breathe in, breathe out, hinge the hips over top of the femoral heads, and then come back up. So we'll generally do 5 to 10 repetitions of this pattern first to teach our clients how to release through the posterior hip. Then we'll go into split stance position, left leg forward, more limited side forward, hands on the pelvis, breathe in, breathe out, rotate that pelvis forward without moving the hip, knee, ankle, or foot complex. And again, 5 to 10 repetitions, teaching our clients how to internally rotate that hip while the foot is on the ground. Very effective patterns for teaching our clients how to dissociate their pelvis from their femoral heads, improve awareness, control, and release that posterior hip complex. And this makes a huge difference in our clients. We've seen a huge difference in our clients, low back, hip, as well as with common knee issues. So this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Thank you so much for watching and for allowing us to be part of your day and part of your journey in helping your clients accomplish their health and fitness goals. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's any topics you'd like to see, feel free to reach out to us with those topics as well, and we'll do our best to try to get those topics on our channel. So thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Make it a great day. And if you're in Manhattan, make sure you stop by and say hi to us. We'll be teaching 4 courses this weekend. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and make it a great weekend.